human experiments at Porton Down are part of the untold story of the international effort to add biological weapons to the arsenal of war.
Biological warfare entered the picture in a big way not until immediately after the Second World War. There were programs going on during it. But after the war, the threat, the potential of biological warfare seemed to make it a weapon, a major weapon of the future. Well, you had a collaboration which started off between Britain and Canada in 1940. That expanded, gradually bringing the Americans in, and that then became a division of labor. Research work, for instance, tended to happen in Britain. The idea of production would happen in the United States. Field testing of munitions would happen in Canada.
This collaboration required America's military lab, Fort Detrick, to work closely with Porton Down. Fort Detrick scientist Frank Olson was a liaison between the two facilities. On November 28, 1953, Frank Olson fell 13 floors from a New York hotel window to his death. His son Eric is convinced that it was neither an accident nor a suicide, but rather an act of foul play linked to his secret work.
He had knowledge about experiments on human subjects. He had knowledge about, extreme interrogation methods leading to death of the subjects. If there was a scary point during the Cold War, that was it.
Frank Olson was an anthrax expert working for Special Operations, a covert CIA division. His son says Frank Olson wanted out.
What's striking to me is you were bound to get situations during the Cold War where certain scientists, certain policymakers, certain administrators, certain military people knew what was going on and said, we're not doing this. This is not what the United States should be doing. And the question is, what were you going to do with such people? You couldn't put them on trial. You couldn't even put them on military trial. Because in many cases, the stuff they were doing had such a level of secrecy attached to it that you couldn't even deny it. So when a guy like that says he's had enough and he's quitting.
It was not until 1975, 22 years after Frank Olson's death, that the government said he had been given LSD and then jumped out of the window. His son never believed it. In 1994, Eric Olson had his father's body exhumed. One of America's leading forensic pathologists studied the x-rays and determined Frank Olson had suffered a blow to the forehead before falling to his death.
Well, you get David Kelly, dying in the woods, and you get Ivans dying here, and, it's pretty spooky. It really is.